It's time to dust off the old school Dreamcast because we're going to be doing some really wicked stuff today with the keyboard and mouse, and I have no idea what this freaking thing is laying there. But I mean this Sega Dreamcast Quake 3 Arena, because I think that's one of those very cool things you can actually find for the Sega Dreamcast. But is it still worth it? Let's find out. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So I'm really excited to do a little bit of unboxing together with you and having the keyboard and mouse combination for the Sega Dreamcast, because I think that was one of those many innovating things they implemented for the Sega Dreamcast. I can still remember that I had a gaming, or at least like a mouse for the PlayStation 1 where I played all kinds of games in combination with Command & Conquer Red Alerts, but the mouse and keyboard situation of the Dreamcast was something different. I want to be clear, actually I was playing Quake 3 at the time on my PC a lot, but how cool is it that we have this game on the PlayStation 2 but also the Sega Dreamcast. But what makes the Dreamcast so much cooler that we actually had a keyboard and mouse that we can put on the system and just play that way. So I just want to do this unboxing together with you and do a quick overview. There are a couple of different mouse options, and oh yeah, this is the old school one, you know. This is something I completely forgot myself, and this is, yep, the ball inside. You need to clean it sometimes. Okay, it's a really filthy ball, so let's clean it up before we're going to be playing. And there's also sometimes you need to clean it up with a simple reason, otherwise it stopped working. So let's do that later on. So in here we're having the model number HKT 4200 and the serial number. But one of the things interesting that this mouse is quite big. I already had like some limited edition Japan version, but that thing was really tiny and not very comfortable. Overall, let's say we have this rubberized scrolling wheel. We even have a side button that is kind of cool, and that's actually it. So I completely forgot that part, that we needed to clean the balls, the ball of the mouse. You know, I can do some really wicked thing about this, but we're not going to be doing that today. So when it comes for cleaning up, I can still remember having my first PC. It was actually like a Pentium 3 550 megahertz, and man oh man, what a freaking annoying thing that you need to clean it up when you're in the middle of a match and this freaking thing was having some dirt or filth on it, resulting having a problem with the gameplay itself. So yeah, this is one of the things that I completely forgot about, and for a good reason, because man, this was just like a freaking nightmare. But cleaning it up with this cloth, you can see like how filthy this thing actually is. So another thing we're going to be looking at is in the inside of here. You can see over here there's the scrolling mechanisms, so we're going to be cleaning that up too a little bit. So I know for sure everything is going to be working like it should be. So let's drop the ball. And by the way, this thing is quite heavy when it comes to that. And now we're actually working with the cleaning part. Okay, let's see, what did I do that? Oh, there we go. So now the next thing we're going to do is cleaning up the mouse itself too, because you know this thing is already quite old. But let's do that later on, and let's do a little bit of an unboxing. Man, this box is really filthy of the keyboard itself. So let's open up this bad boy, and the mouse has been cleaned. Okay, so this is the QWERTY version. I can still remember that previous one I had was a completely different version, having problems with it playing actually the games. So the previous owner was very careful with this particular product because everything is in pristine condition. So I'm guessing this is a different number, of course, because this is the HKT 7630 with the serial number made in China. It's interesting, some products are made in China and some are from Korea itself, but I'm guessing this has to do not only the licensing but also what kind of product, of course. So this is still working. Oh man, these things are normally always breaking with me, particularly when you're getting in the rage mode. The cable is very long when it comes to that. Okay, so that's it. Let's connect everything. Let's play some Quake 3, people. Oh yeah! So let's get into full retro mode with Quake 3. I can still remember watching this on my brand new PC back in the day. Man, such a fun overall experience. So let's see how it is, plug and play. So been connecting both devices in a separate, let's say, controller port. And what is even interesting, that we have the option to add another second controller, or at least like a keyboard and mouse in controller 3 and 4, so we can even use split screen with 2 sets of keyboard and mouse. So that is another very cool thing you can actually do. A lot of innovation when it comes to this tiny, really cool box. Man, loading times. So for saving, so let's see, I'm going to be using the controller on port number 4. Let's see if this is going to be communicating with anything. Just show Quake 3 logo. And one of the things that I find it a really comfortable keyboard for typing. Oh yeah. So we have single player, multiplayer, internet. We can have setup. Let's see what setup actually need, because this is one of the things. Controller setup. Because with the controller setup, we're going to be setting everything to a certain point. Otherwise, I think we cannot actually use the keyboard and mouse. So we're going to be messing with it in game, I'm guessing. So in here we're having all the kind of presets. So let's check out having preset 1. This is for the controller. You can actually see that. We're having step left, right, AD. So I'm guessing this is the WSAD. Okay, so let's just go with it. Okay, so there's no arrow, so there's a little bit of a downside. So, okay, it does work. What we're going to be doing is getting into the game. And no, we're going to be getting into the single player over there. And we're going to be booting up the game to see if we can actually just automatically start up. I just suck at this game, so we're going to be starting with level 2 of the difficulty. So, I'm guessing I'm going to be needing to configure everything when it comes to the controllers and mouse itself. There are some presets, something I personally really find awesome. Okay, so this seems to be working. What? It is using the rumble of this particular controller. Okay, that's something we don't want to. So let's remove that. We can also use the freaking, like say, fourth controller. What happened? Yeah, okay, that's weird. We're going to be plugging that one out. Okay, so that's interesting. So I've been plugging out the controller over there. Now it doesn't even recognize any controller whatsoever. Okay, that is interesting. But let's remove the rumble pack because that was really annoying. Where is the AD? Oh, that's kind of weird. Like the space is, that is kind of a weird configuration. That's like zooming in or sniper mode, how you want to call this. Let's see where the jumping is. Oh, jumping on the right mouse click. Oh, okay. Oh, I need to get used to this. The overall graphics of the Dreamcast are okay. I've been playing this game a lot on the PC, but of course the PC is so much superior. Okay, so that seems to work fine. So can we just adjust the mouse sensitivity? Would that be something that is even possible with this? So let's control. I don't see anything going on when it comes to, we have seen sound display. That's the only thing we can actually set. So no, I'm guessing not. Okay, so there's a little bit of a downside. We can do adjust if you want to have the jump on a different button or whatsoever, you can actually do that. Okay, scrolling wheel is not really great. I need to really give this thing a freaking slide to actually do something. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest, like I'm regretting having this setting to this low because this is way too easy. Oh, going back to the Dreamcast and Quake 3, this is such a different overall experience. But let's continue. And when you're going to be just playing this game, I think this is just a lot of fun. And if you're going to be hooking this thing up to an old school CRT or an HDMI upgrade, this can be a lot of fun playing these old school games. And particularly with the mouse, this thing is very, very sensitive when it comes to that. But the overall experience is quite, let's say, enjoyable. And I think this is one of the coolest things when it comes to the Sega Dreamcast with all those very strange stuff you can actually buy for. Like when racing wheels, the mouse and keyboard was one of those very awesome things. Oh. Okay, another game I just love to try is the typing of the dead. This is such a very cool game where we can just having like an arcade shooting game that is just converted to a keyboard where you can just type words where you're going to be fighting against all of the zombies. So we can have trading mode if you want to. We can even have two keyboards at the same time, and in this way we can actually like play together. So that is another very cool, interesting way. This is, so far I know, the exactly same game that you're only normally playing with the light guns, but now we're going to be using this with a keyboard. So let's see how fast we can type and if this is going to be interesting. Okay. And the words are going to be, of course, more difficult throughout the game itself. I must say that I'm going to give them absolutely massive kudos for this, because this is such really cool and a lot of fun. I think the first time I ever played this was going to be on, I think, one of those retro evenings where we can just play this. There we go. Oh, going to be slap and riots. But one of the things I find really interesting, that this thing is quite comfortable. Randy mentioned it a couple of times throughout the video. Okay. Oh. No, I messed it up. Ah. Yes, I typed not fast enough. Nay. No. Oh, this one is nasty. That one is really nasty. Oh man. Ah! See, this is what I mean. Now it's getting really challenging with bigger words, more complex situations. I do wonder if this is going to be different throughout, like the different parts of the. That we're going to be playing this game a couple of times. Are they going to be different, or is it going to be the same words and same game? Oh, there we go. Okay. Moly, holy, Ellie. What a word, man. Poly, Roly, Sally, Kelly, Nelly, Dolly. Man. I can tell you all those things that I review in the channel. Scrum. There are all kinds of, like, say, funny things you can actually do. There we go. Shrine. Oh. Life sucks. Toad face. Soul brother. No. Oh. Big boss time. Let's see what's going on over here. Is this going to be a lot of fun, or is this going to be even more of a nightmare? Oh man. Normally, like, the normal game is a lot of fun, but filled to burst. What? Bursting. What? Oh, those names are going to be crazy. Okay. French hamburger. Okay. Moving on to the next word. It's going to be a long one. Absolutely. What? Seren. Pity. Ah! Next up, Soldier of Fortune, and what is interesting that we do actually have a mouse cursor. So it's actually the first game, so we can actually do something with this. Can we just press start? Oh, that's actually how it is. Okay, so I get myself a slip of the tea. Let's try a new game. Soldier of Fortune. Man, this game was kind of cool. I mean, particularly when you're looking into this. So what I love about it is that we can use the memory card in slot of the final, like the forward slot or port D. I think it's such a cool thing that we can have all of the ports utilized, so we can actually use the save file over there. But let's get into some Soldier of Fortune. I can still remember that I was playing this on the PC in the same time era like Quake 3 Arena. Man, this game was so brutal. So the loading time took a freaking forever. So out of the box, this seems to be working fine. So let's see. Yep, it's just as brutal like on the PC. Oh yeah, reloading is actually reloading. Nice. So we do have some really cool It's a really good configuration like the PC. So this is just like playing on the PC, only the loading times are freaking taking forever. Jesus. So nevertheless, this is such a very fun overall, let's say, experience where the loading times are unfortunate, quite long. You can jump over there. So let's continue with some shooting games, and we're having old school Half-Life. That is another game that is, of course, let's say, cool game to actually play with keyboard and mouse. Okay, that's kind of cool. So we're having all kinds of different games that we can play. So we can also return with escape, and everything seems to be working fine. Okay, loading times, let's see how horrible this is, or maybe not at all. But yeah, this is another cool game to just play with mouse and keyboard. Let's see how sensitive the freaking controls are. Yep, everything in combination with space, every enemy with the space bar is going to be the jumping. You can also crouch with control. Woohoo! But so far, so good. Everything seems to be working as it is. And that is absolutely a very cool add-on to the Sega Dreamcast, that we can just have the original, let's say, controls like with the PC on a console. I think that is so cool. Oh, sensitivity is very sensitive. Let's put it that way. Let's see if we can get into the controls. Advanced controls. Let's see if we can change out. So we can actually change things out here. So that's kind of cool. Okay. Auto aiming is been set to there. Okay. Okay, so let's see how this is. Oh, this is much better. Oh, this is absolutely much better. There we go. Come, yep, there we go. All right. Crap, I'm messing this up. Wait. There we go. And we do have like loading times. And they are long. Let's take myself and something. Whoa, okay, that was weird. Did you see that? The loading was even not complete and I was already done with loading. Okay, that's weird. So this is absolutely one of those cool things you can do with a Sega Dreamcast. The keyboard and mouse is such a cool add-on. If you're going to be playing this with the right games, you can have tons of fun. If you just want to use the keyboard with typing of the dead, or just want to play some Quake 3 Arena, this is just very fun and maybe even affordable, depending on when you're watching it and when you're going to be looking into it. Because, so looking at the price points, these normal keyboards are not like super expensive. If you're going to be looking into, let's say, limited editions and smaller versions, that's going to be different. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this configuration? Thank you all for watching, and it will be great to see you in the next video.